Discover the 5 steps to follow when using Family Search to find your family quickly, easily, and for free. Why do I recommend newbie genealogists begin with Family Search first? Well, the number one reason is because it's free. And as with many hobbies, you don't want to just buy all of this stuff and then burn out quickly. With Family Search, since it's free, you can make a lot of headway, and once you've developed your skills, then you can go off that free platform to find other resources that do come with a cost. The second reason is that Family Search is relatively easy to use, especially when it comes to sharing information with your family members. If you want to talk about your great-grandma Ethel, all you have to do is grab her URL, send it to your family members or other researchers. They can access that URL with a free account and be right in there, right where you are. And the third reason is because Family Search likely already has part or all of your family tree already built. And so instead of going down these rabbit holes of getting lost in a lot of people's trees over on other platforms, you're diving right in, getting into your tree, and getting to know your relatives. So now that you know the whys, let's talk about the steps to utilizing Family Search and getting the most out of it. Step number 1, validate your tree links. Go in to Family Search and find yourself, and then build your tree out to your first deceased relative, and then watch as Family Search populates the tree with what is already there thanks to other researchers. So let's say that you are Penny, and you started building your family tree, and you put in your father and your mother, and then Family Search provided everybody that you see right here. So what is the next step when you are utilizing Family Search to research your family tree? Well, the first thing you need to do is that you need to validate these relationships. So one of the things that you can do is you can go in to a profile page by clicking on any of these person's names and then click on their name again, and now you're in the profile page. So now we're validating your mother. If you are Penny, we're validating your mother. We're looking to see that her name looks as it should, and that there are sources attached to this person. So we have a Find a Grave record, an obituary, and a death certificate. This little icon that is a world means that you put it into the Family Search family tree. So these are from Family Search, and this is one that you've created. As we scroll down, we have the death date and place with sources, a burial date and place with sources. We have the opportunity to put in other information. And notice, Louise actually was born under another name. She was adopted, and so she has the name Marie Anderson from when she was born. And there's a note. What you're doing is you're going through and looking to make sure all of this information seems accurate, that Louise has her husband and the marriage date that you know about, the parents, her siblings, and if there is another set of parents, that is there too. So you go through step by step, validating everything you see. You look at the facts and you check to see if there's sources. And if there's not a source, then you need to make a note that you have a fact with no source. Now, while you're climbing your family tree, another thing you're going to want to do is that the more closely you are related to a person, you're going to want to actually follow their profile, because Family Search will tell you when people make changes to the Family Search family tree profile, and you want to be fully aware that this is taking place, that there's changes are happening and you know when they're taking place. So you'll see the name, you'll see view tree, and then you'll click follow. I'm going to caution you against watching every single person that you could possibly be related to in the Family Search family tree. There are a number of family lines that I don't watch because I know they're in good hands by other researchers, and I'm going to watch the people that I am most focused on researching. If you change my mom and dad or my grandparents, I want to know about it. And then I have some family lines that I'm actively researching, so I watch those. Everybody else is kind of fair game, and I'll explore them every now and then as the mood strikes. The second step is to begin searching for records to support what's on your tree or to fill in missing gaps using the profile page to go straight to the search engine. It's these search records from your profile to these various websites. Now, you need to have a subscription to the ones listed below, but Family Search is free. You're already logged in. One of the reasons why I like searching from that the profile page here versus coming up to search and then go to records is that if we just use the record page and we type in a name, we have to do it all from memory and make sure we spell things correctly. And then when we get to the search results, then we don't have this really nifty person reminder. Who were we searching for? Angeline Sherwood Marvin. Here's her birth and death information, her spouse's name, her parents' name, and other names too. This is really neat. I haven't seen this before, that you expand it and you have the children and the siblings. That's pretty nifty. Now, Family Search will bring in a lot of information for you. If there was an alternative name, it would have brought that in for you. You can also add in an alternate name to the spelling. You can modify the birthplace. Maybe you want to put Huron County. You can expand and contrast the range of the birth ranges, marriage range. And not every record is going to have all of this information. So sometimes you want to actually search with fewer details to drill down to something more specific. At some point, the search strategies are going to run out using the search form. So then the next place you want to go is actually number 3 and number 4. The first is the Family Search Wiki. And the fourth is the card catalog. Angeline is from Richland and Huron County. So let's just focus on her birth time period. And we're going to go to the Family Search Wiki. And we're going to put Richland County, Ohio. And notice I'm not clicking on the map. I find that to be an absolute waste of time. I'm going to go straight to the page I'm looking for, Richland County, and click search. In this page, I'm actually going to find a lot of reference material and knowledge that I'm going to need in order to research in Richland County. We can see some of the cities, the townships. You can see record losses. You can see parent counties and when a county was established, neighboring county boundary changes, and a lot of record information that might help you in your research. Don't just limit yourself to Richland County. Sometimes you need to actually go back up to Ohio to find collections that are kept at the state level, and sometimes you even have to go to the national level for whatever country that you're in, and occasionally you actually need to go down to a township or a city level to see what kind of information they might have there. Often the city doesn't have as many collections, but you never know until you look. Back up just a bit, and we're going to go to the catalog, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to type in Richland County, Ohio, and we're going to look for everything that's there. And now we have our card catalog with a lot of different record collections that don't appear on the wiki, and they can appear as digitized images. They could be books. Now, if you happen to find something on the catalog that is a book, see format books and monograph, then you're going to be able to get the call number, and then that you can take that to the Family History Library in Salt Lake City in order to explore that book. After you've exhausted everything that is on Family Search in the card catalog in the wiki and in the search forums, and your tree looks as strong as it can be, might I also invite you to check out the book collections that Family Search has. So search books. Now, it's not common that you're just going to type in your ancestor's name and there it's going to show up in a book. However, I do know that there was a published genealogy for the Marvin family that my grandmother was a descendant through adoption. So I can type in the head of the family, and we're going to see that there's this book, The Descendants of Reinhold and Matthew Marvin, and we can click on that and we can actually access the book right here on Family Search. So it's pretty nifty to be able to see the documents and some of the images that they had from this book from oh so long ago. Don't limit yourself to just a specific name. Perhaps there are ethnic groups that your ancestors are a part of, and who knows what types of books are going to show up for you. So there is a book called The German in America, The Germans in America, The First Germans in America. There's a lot of German religions come to America. Look for a church in a specific place, and you might find a book that details the history of the books. You never know, they might actually have a membership directory and things of that nature. So be sure to check out the books on Family Search. Now, if you haven't been doing this all along the way, let me throw in my bonus tip. Make sure that every time you find something that documents your ancestors that is on Family Search, you're linking it to your family tree. Now, when you do find a source or document on Family Search that pertains to your ancestor, then make sure you go through the process of attaching the records to the Family Search family tree so that you always know where the information is when you need it. Don't just use Family Search to find records. Use Family Search to organize your records. Now, Family Search can be a powerful resource to climb your family tree for free and for fun. So be sure to check out these tips right here to extend your knowledge base on using Family Search. If you're ready to move on from Family Search, try out this playlist right here.